As our friends at Altcoin Daily say, the biggest FOMC meeting of the year is this week. In fact, it's coming on Wednesday. What to expect? How is this going to inflate or deflate the market? And more importantly, what is going to happen to the big whale position? We got it all for you in this video, breaking down exactly what could be coming on Wednesday and whether that is a bullish or bearish case for the cryptocurrency markets. As always, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest in cryptocurrency, whether that's news, reviews, technical analysis, brand new projects, and much, much more. We got it all for you every day here on the 2-Bit Crypto channel. With that being said, let's get into the video. So like we said, and equally Altcoin Daily, the biggest FOMC meeting of the year on Wednesday. The Fed will decide to hike, hold, or cut rates. Will Jerome Powell cave to Donald Trump's lower rates demand? What do you expect? Now, I think it's just, let's talk about the elephant in the room. They're not going to cut rates. We simply won't get it. I don't think Jerome Powell will yield to Donald Trump's demand. At the same time, I think it just needs a little bit more in the market. And the prediction on the CME FedWatch is a 99% stay where it is. Now, that doesn't mean going forward, however, we won't see significant rate cuts. Predictions are now 3 potential rate cuts this year. But why is it important? And what is the Fed fundamentally looking at? Well, there's a couple of things why I think they will sit flat on their rate and wait to see what happens. The slowing of the economy or economic growth, sticky inflation. Yes, we saw it come down with the CPI report. Yes, it's come down with PPI, but there are a number of things that are basically unsure. The Trump tariffs is a critical one. This is difficult for banks ultimately to make decisions in terms of what's coming in the months ahead. They don't know if tomorrow there's going to be some sort of reciprocal tariff. Fundamentally, in the longer term, however, tariffs will be a positive thing, I believe, for the US because they hold all the cards, and Trump absolutely knows this. The tariffs do prove to be short-term, and this narrative around short-term pain for long-term gain is important to think about. The Fed could look past them, which therefore would give a more bullish outlook. And the Fed officials have been careful to sidestep discussions about limitations of monetary policy when it comes to these Trump trade wars. So the fact that we'll just stay the same, I think pretty much everyone's accepted that it will just stay the same. What I think is interesting is, what is Jerome Powell going to say? What is he going to come out and talk about? He has a very difficult decision. What, in one hand, your new boss, as much as he would say he isn't, his new boss is demanding lower inflation. He's doing all the things to bring inflation down, including crashing the stock market to a degree. But then on the other hand, you've got this kind of historic move that the Fed has had, always a little bit slow. When they came out of COVID and equally going into that real hike in inflation, they were just too late to act. Now, the other decision to make is, do they turn the money printers on as well? Now, we track this on my live streams. Come and join us, 5 p.m. Eastern at the moment, every single day. But what is coming on the horizon? Well, global head of rates Vanguard believes the Fed's likely next move is a cut towards the end of the year. However, he adds that there is sufficient uncertainty in the macro outlook that it's right for them to take their time to assess the economic implications of the new administrative policies. And I think this is exactly where we are. We could see it accelerate into the kind of next one in sort of July, June time, but we'll see. One thing is for certain though, is fund rates and yields are coming down. This is exactly what I've talked about on my number of videos covering the tariffs and why they're important for cryptocurrency. But look at this. Federal funds rate, 4.33 effective. The 10-year treasury at 4.32, down from that high of 4.83, which we were talking about only a few weeks ago. So you could argue Trump's policies are working in terms of driving that key measure, the 10-year treasury, because this is when the money printers go on. This is what is going to be sold, and this will obviously deflate that yield percentage as well, all of which supports the debt, brings the cost of that interest rate down as well. So if you're only paying 4% instead of 4.8, you're obviously paying less. Now, the big question is, what is happening with this whale? Well, he or she has had a very interesting day. Are they short in the market? Do they know something's coming on Wednesday? Is this Jerome Powell's wallet? Who the hell knows? But currently sitting around $38,000 in the profit. They actually added another $2 million to this position. You can see here now the margin used is around $13.025 million. And as the price comes down, remember they are shorting the market. They are seeing a slight uptrend in there. Now this was at 1.9 million. They've closed their long on Melania coin, obviously got what they wanted. So we'll keep an eye on this one, but this could be a tell as to where the market could be going. And lots of people are in that same sentiment. A big week for crypto. We've got reports from Bitfinex that we see obviously the sharp decline, but experts are watching out for the correction into the current bull market. Remember, we often see these dips 25, 30, 35%. Historically, bull markets tend to experience corrections of around that 30% mark before resuming. Now, this one is a bit different with ETFs and Trump tariffs and all that kind of stuff, but the absolute sentiment right now is that long-term holders and institutions are returning to the markets. And I think this, again, is why the Fed is so critical on Wednesday. If Jerome Powell is hawkish, if he absolutely says the market's not under control, then expect some unfortunate downtrends. And that's why this whale wallet may well be positioning itself. But the FOMC will be a big deal. It's coming Wednesday. We'll cover it all here on the channel. But the reality is the Fed will do what the Fed will do. And I think at the minute, irrespective of what Donald Trump's desire would be, the Fed will do. We are currently in a state of extreme fear. This has eased over the course of the last few days as we've seen that little uptrend in the price of BTC and equally the stock market as less reciprocal tariffs have gone on. But unfortunately, this statement here, crypto is entangled with traditional markets and bear period could help trigger the recession. We do need to be mindful of what that looks like. So it's important to think about where you're trading. It's important to think about what is going to come on Wednesday. I absolutely know, well, I don't know for a fact, but I absolutely believe zero in terms of Fed change, i.e. interest rates will stay the same. But I kind of feel like Jerome may come in a little bit dovish. If you're dovish and you want to try and grab the opportunity trading some leverage, check out my new exchange, BLOFIN. I've partnered up with them to offer you a fantastic deal, $150 up to for every new user if you deposit $1,000 and trade with a $10,000 volume. No KYC, available in the US, India, UK, and many, many others. It's a great platform, easy to use. You can get over there and buy all of your favorite cryptocurrencies with up to 200x leverage on some of those coins. So if you are interested, the link is in the description. It's free to sign up, deposit, and get your bonuses. Really important. So a big week for us ahead. We're going to see what happens in the market. Expect extreme volatility, but what are we looking for? A dovish Jerome Powell and probably a flat interest rate. And I think this will be very good for markets. Fingers crossed, that's what we get. Let me know what you think of it all in the comments down below. As always, we'll be covering everything here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe, your notification bell is turned to all, and you've smashed a like. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.